Roll call.
Van Ort.
Here.
McCoy.
Here.
Hawkinsmith.
Here.
Brownell.
Here.
Conley.
Supervisor Hawkinsmith, this is Ralph Morasco. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Do the current circumstances make it impractical or impossible for you to appear in person today?
Yes.
We can hear you. Let the record reflect that Supervisor Hawkinsmith is participating pursuant to Section 21.8 of the Iowa Code.
Thank you, Ralph. Action on the minutes of the previous
I
meeting.
move the minutes. Second?
Roll call.
Van Ort.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Hawkinsmith.
Yes.
Brownell.
Yes.
Conley.
Yes. Are there any special claims?
None.
Action on the bill list submitted by the county auditor. Roll call.
Van Ort.
Yes.
McCoy.
Yes.
Hawkinsmith.
Yes.
Brownell.
Yes.
Conley.
Yes. We have a public hearing on our 2050 Polk County Comprehensive Plan. Is there proof of publication on file?
Yes.
Is there anyone that would like to speak? I know we have all of our planning staff here, and someone is here wanting here to speak, apparently. Come on to the podium and state your name and address.
Alan Richards, 405 6th Avenue, Des Moines. And I know that these comprehensive plans are difficult to develop, and I go back into the 70s with Polk County. In 1976, the national debates at the university level was about planning and zoning, and Polk County was here in Iowa at a college where we studied how Polk County would be, I don't want to say, pinned in, but developed. And at that time, you had the interstate, which went through the, Polk County, which was part of the national defense system, which goes back to some of my thinking. And then going off to study myself at Mankato State in public planning, and they developed the metropolitan area around Minneapolis because all the stakeholders needed to be brought in. And where I'm going with this, obviously, then I went off and got a master's in agriculture law. So my focus there is preserving agriculture. And I think Polk County does a great job with preserving it. But with the influences of industry and the raising price values for development, the idea there was somehow come in and buy land trusts to protect the rural areas and that. Which, circling back to the beginning, the one thing in the plan is the implementation. And so there's two things I would like to speak on. One would be the water. Water for consumption is an issue that I think should be implemented on the best basis as you can around the county in this particular area of the state. And obviously you need to work with the state. But more importantly than that, with the planning team, and they want continuing input. The one thing that doesn't jump out at me in the plan, and this would be related to the 988, that you have individuals that you live around, and I see it consistently that there's not a highlighted area of whether it's the nonprofit community groups that are involved, whether it's benevolent social organizations, either through veterans or your nonprofit hospital systems or your religious systems, that detail of where I would go in this community if I was fallen down and be able to know in that particular neighborhood or that development that there's a location I'm able to go to get the services of 988. I know through the legislature and the government, they have assertive community treatment, but it gets down to, I want to know where that place is to go. And when you implement this plan, even though I will say it's good, with those earlier things about land trust, water, it's about where the community service are that are for people in need.
So you're talking about the new 988 number when people call for suicide help. That's what that number's for.
Well, I understand that, but I look at it much more deeper, so that if there's a plan there of you got, I know that, I'm going down into the the micromanagement of a plan, so that sure, the suicide thing, but I'm talking about whether I'm gonna go back out and go on hard drugs today because I just can't even eat. I don't know where to go. I'm laying on the street. There were big team meetings around the area downtown Des Moines last night, if you walked, where there's groups of people have no place to go.
Right.
And in your development of a plan, if it out there that there's this place, I know the Lutheran church up here, you can go get lunches every day.
Sure.
But I'm saying in your bigger plan, you gotta have a need for the people at the bottom.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot. For instance, we're in a talking stage right now about a sobering center in the community and the needs there. We talk about community supports all the time. But I understand what you're talking about out in the county. They might not have talked about that specifically in the comp plan. We talk more about it within the city and not so much in the unincorporated area of Polk County.
As well, yes. But I just wanted to jump out at me in your plan.
I got it. Thank you. Does anybody else want to speak to the comp plan? The planning staff is here. Thank you for all your work that you've done on this. I know we had a lot of public hearings, and I think Supervisor Hawkinsmith attended a few of those. Tom, do you want to say anything about the comprehensive plan?
You know, I think that the consultant did an excellent job, and I appreciate the comment speaker this morning. I would just say, you know, we're really focused on land use, and we talked about the agricultural plan. The first comp plan that I ever participated in is the first time that we used ag transition instead of the suburban estate zoning. And so that ag transition, I think, preserves agricultural land, which is what we want to do. It's great for Polk County, but also planning for transportation infrastructure. Where's it going to go? How's it going to? Where's the commercial development going to be? Where's the industrial development going to be? What are we going to do? So that piece that I think they did an excellent job on. But remember, this comprehensive land use plan is a guide that we will utilize when someone comes in for zoning amendment or zoning change. We're going to go back and reflect on our comprehensive land use plan, determine whether or not it meets or not. And certainly it's not a hard black and white decision on those zoning changes, but it gives us a guide. And adopting ordinances based on our new comprehensive land use plan is the next process. If something like that could be implemented based on the zoning, we could probably pass it off to Brett and the consultant and see whether or not that's something we need to do. But yeah, that'd be my comment. So they did a nice job, I thought.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
At some point, right now, or when the resolution's put on the floor, I'd like to hear from Brett, and give his high points of the piece. But if you want to close the public hearing, we can do that during discussion
Yes, close the hearing and ask for a motion.
on those resolutions.
I'll move it.
Second.
Roll call.
We hear from
Van
Brett.
Ort,
Yes.
We can
McCoy,
do it under
Yes.
the comprehensive plan.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley,
Yes. Now resolution on adopting the 2050 Polk County Comprehensive Plan.
I'll move that.
Second.
Brett? At one time, we did have a staffing on this and had kind of a layout of where we were going with it. You want to give a brief synopsis on this?
Yeah, so the consultant team did a great job for us to put the process together. You know, we started out with gathering all the data, and then they had the public input stage, and now the draft plan, and now we're to the final finish line. And it's a update to the current comprehensive plan with a focus on, as referenced, ag preservation, natural resources, land use, housing are part of the key points. We have the guiding principles within the plan to make recommendations to put in the guidelines to help us move forward and to improve our ordinances as we move forward, specifically for the things directly that Supervisor Hawkinsmith referenced with the zoning ordinance update. There'll be some changes that we make in there from recommendations that come out of this plan, changes to the zoning map based on the future land use recommendations. Not widespread, small changes focused on some of those corridors that we looked at. We looked at the Northeast 14th Street, Northwest 2nd, and Broadway corridors. And so there's some specific recommendations within those corridors to help redevelopment occur. We have obviously the Northeast 14th Street widening project is happening right now by the state. We've got the Broadway project that's coming up, and we think those are going to be drivers for some of those changes to occur. But with those corridor studies and the recommendations of those, we can implement those land use changes along those corridors to help our development move forward.
Brett, while you're here too, there's two things. One, I'd like you to introduce your staff, and the second thing I'd like you to do is, I know we've had some discussion on accessory dwellings, you know, mother-in-law apartments, whatever. I know you're gonna be looking at that. We didn't get that. A couple people have called and emailed us regarding that, try to keep people in their homes. How are we gonna address that?
Yeah, so with the comprehensive plan update, we looked at some of those focus areas, one of those being accessory dwelling units, another one being solar power that the last plan didn't really reference. Since the last plan, we've got a lot more involved in the watershed management authorities, so there's a lot stronger component of the natural resource protection stuff. So as we look at those, we're gonna study it. We have an intern this summer, Andy Duong. She's here today. She's been doing some of the research on accessory dwelling units, and we're gonna use those recommendations to put forward what we can do specific to that one item. The same with solar units and how we're going to address those within the zoning ordinance and treat them to allow people to put them in their backyards and on the roofs. We do today, but it's not as explicitly clear as we'd like it to be, or as make it as easy as we can for those things to move forward. So with each one of those little components, we try to, as those are focused topics, we want to address them as best we can.
Good.
So how would you like me to introduce my staff? As they're seated, you want them to come up here and, sing a song for you?
Raise their hand.
All right, so.
Or sing a song. Is pretty good. That's not bad.
We'll work on that for next time.
Okay.
So Tommy Howard, Brian McDonough, Chris Meeks, and Andy Duong.
Thanks for coming down today.
And then our consultant team, part of them from Confluence are sitting behind them. So Chris Shires and Abby Hubert, and they did great. And if you want to ask them any questions, they'd be happy to address them too.
Brett, I hope this isn't too far off the subject. I don't think it is. But the last 10 years, has the relationship between the municipalities and the county changed any legally? I mean, there's a lot of annexations going on between the municipalities right now, and has that changed? I'm fine with all the annexations. I'm not here to pitch anti-annexation type rhetoric, but I just wonder if our relationship with the municipalities has changed any legally in the last 10 years since we've done the comprehensive plan.
I don't know legally if there's been any significant changes. I think from the county standpoint, our working relationship from a public works and planning and development standpoint is we have great relationships with those communities. We're involved with them. I referenced the watershed management authorities, that there's a lot of crossover and involvement from that. We deal with them on land development questions. Obviously, as the cities grow, their 2-mile review jurisdiction gets further out into the unincorporated area, and so we interact a lot. We get a lot of inquiries that will direct people, hey, go talk to this city, to make sure that they're going to be okay with what you're proposing, because you're not within their city, but you're within the review. And the last thing we want to do is review something, have it start through our processes, and then have one of the cities jump in and say, hey, what's going on? And so I think we have great working relationships. We had meetings with invited all the communities in as part of the comprehensive plan update to, talk about any issues that they would have or things that they wanted us to address within the plan as well, and had great participation, from those communities.
Great, thanks.
Brett, when will we revisit this plan again?
So the last plan was done in 2006. We're in 2022, so I would, unless there's major changes, I would say in that 10 to 15 year time frame to do another major update. But as far as the implementation stuff goes, that's a lot of those things are continuous, and then with ordinance updates and changes, those will happen continuously based on the recommendations of the plan. And if there's a specific matter that comes up that needs to get addressed, whether that's accessory dwelling units or solar units, something similar to that, we can always come in and do do a minor amendment to the comprehensive plan if there's something that we've missed or that we've understated or that we've changed our direction on, so,
Okay.
Thanks, Brett.
thank you.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, roll call, please.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley,
Yes. Okay, next, we have public comments. We inadvertently left off the agenda, but as you know, we always allow public comments. It's not really a requirement of the Iowa Code, but we still want to give everybody the opportunity. Does anybody want to make public comments at this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to permits. Becky.
Number 6, renewal application for Class C liquor license and Sunday sales for VFW Post 9662 at 1309 Northeast 66th Avenue.
Roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes. Resolutions?
Number 7, resolution approving sanitary sewer extension agreement with 6450 LLC for extension of the county's sanitary sewer to serve property in Saylor Township. Number 8, resolution approving sanitary sewer extension agreement with Sam and Karla Holt to serve property in Crocker Township. Number 9, resolution approving final plat of Timmins Acres.
Move those resolutions.
Second.
Roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes.
Number 10, resolution modifying position within the sheriff's office. Number 11, resolution modifying positions within the public works department.
Move together. Second.
Roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes.
Number 12, resolution terminating tax suspensions.
Move it.
Second.
Roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes.
Number 13, resolution approving community betterment grant awards.
Resolution.
Second.
Roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes, you'll see we have a 13A in your book.
13A is a petition to suspend taxes and special assessments and authorizing chairperson to sign the application and affidavit for redemption of parcel at 2815 First Street.
I'll move the resolution.
Second.
Roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes. Communications?
Number 14, notice of meeting to consider City of Bond grant voluntary annexation within the urbanized area of the City of Altoona. Number 15, City of Sheldon approved petition for voluntary annexation into the city.
Refer to Public Works and the County Attorney. Budget actions, which we do have. That is a legacy bond that the Conservation is getting ready to issue.
Need a resolution on that?
All right, yeah, I need a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes. We also have a memorandum of appointments.
Move before.
Second.
Roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes. Okay, I don't believe we have a staff meeting on Wednesday tomorrow, so ask for a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, move to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, that's right, we don't have a meeting next week either. So that's our first beginning of the trial to see how it works. Hope y'all got your stuff in this week. Okay, roll call.
Van Ort,
Yes.
McCoy, Hawkinsmith,
Yes.
Brownell,
Yes.
Conley.
Yes.